From the Apex Court, Kashmiri Pandits have filed intervention application before Supreme Court wants to draw attention of courts to their plight during Article 370 hearing, which will commence from August 2. Supporting abrogation of Article 370, community says provision was a reason for lack of psychological integration of Kashmir with rest of India, made valley breeding ground for terrorism. Harish is joining us. Harish, Kashmiri Pandits file an intervention plea. Take us through the content of this plea that has been filed.
Yes, that's right. Youth for Panun Kashmir, a prominent organization representing Kashmiri Pandits who are victims of genocide in the 1990s, resulting in the mass exodus of a large number of community members from the valley, have filed an intervention application in the Supreme Court. They want to be heard when a constitution bench begins hearing a batch of petitions challenging abrogation of Article 370, which will come in from August 2nd, and focusing on justice for Kashmiri Pandits who were victims of genocide. The organization says it wants to place arguments supporting the abrogation of Article 370, saying the provision became a major reason for eroding the sentiment of Indian identity within the Kashmir Valley, and Article 370 was the biggest reason for lack of psychological integration of the erstwhile state of Jammu Kashmir, the rest of India, and became a breeding ground for separatist ideas, leading to ethnic cleansing of innocent Kashmiri Pandits. They argue that Article 370 and Article 35A were in contravention of basic structure of the Indian Constitution and should go. So they are in fact supporting the abrogation of Article 370. The Kashmiri Pandits seek dismissal of all petitions challenging abrogation of Article 370 and declaration of the step as a valid and constitutional. The organization seeks to draw the attention of the Supreme Court to the violence and atrocities perpetrated upon Kashmiri Pandit community between the period of 1989 to 1991 as a direct or indirect consequence of unimpeded powers provided to the Jammu and Kashmir state via Article 370 of the Constitution. It also wants the court to take on record the trials and tribulations faced by the Kashmiri Pandit community in Jammu and Kashmir and the exodus thereof as a matter of history. So a big step in an effort to get secure justice for the Kashmiri Pandits who were victims of genocide in the 90s, as a result of which large number of community members were forced to flee the valley. We'll have to wait and watch what kind of stand the Supreme Court will take when it begins the hearing on a batch of petitions challenging the abrogation of Article 370, which will commence from August 2nd. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Harish, for all those details. So Kashmiri Pandits, of course, supporting the abrogation with that intervention application, as Supreme Court is set to hear Article 370 petitions from August 2.